what do you say we just jump into the pre-show here?
I'm going to go ahead and turn on my camera first.
Oh, yeah. That might be helpful. That might be helpful.
Wait, before you do that.
Oh, before... What happened?
No, I can't be here today, but
Okay.
when would the final be?
When will what?
When would the final one be?
We're talking about in September. We don't have a solid date yet, but sometime in September. I think Gage was still working out if/when who's coming, etc.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he'll talk about it with you, and then I'll just figure it out later.
Okay, he's coordinating the Canadians, is what I'm saying.
Right.
I'll get told weeks later. What are you talking about? We already talked about it.
No, we actually, Gage, we talked about this not a few days ago. It wasn't like weeks ago.
Right. It was relatively
recent.
Yeah.
Kirik, hello, Kirik. It has been a minute, and we do have some news today.
We do have some news for you, Kirik.
Yeah, we do have some news today. So Christian hates us.
Correct.
He wants.
Oh, it's the opposite.
The opposite. We don't hate you. We're just dumb. There's a difference.
Listen, you guys.
Here we go.
You guys get movies. I get TV shows. It's clear I'm the side character.
What?
That's funny. That's really funny, actually.
If you want to include me in the ensemble,
you know
where to find me.
You're always included.
Listen, he's Bucky, and we're Cap and Iron Man.
Yeah, the guy that was on the show before the other one.
Yeah, whose fault is it that I outlasted you, huh?
That's not true. Is it?
Only one of us left.
Who hosted more? Uh-huh.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right. Did I turn my camera on? Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go then. I will...
I apologize, Christian.
If that's the case, listen, man, I'll try... I'll move mountains for the September.
Hell yeah.
He'll move mountain.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. We got to switch scene to the scene. Okay. Are we ready to start, Gage?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let me see here. Make sure I have everything. There you go. All right. And
I just saw how you wrote the first thing. That's so funny.
Huh? Oh.
Ubisoft has decided to shut down Podcast PXN.
All right. Here we.
You're listening to Podcast PXN,
a video game podcast
delivering player experience news.
Let's go. What is up, guys, and welcome to Podcast PXN episode Penultimate. This is our special episode here. I am one of your hosts, Daniel Prindle, aka Dan is DTM on, yes, still Twitter, and I'm joined over Discord by our resident Embark Glazer and my fellow Spartan Gage Dempster at Kilbo Biggins.
Reporting for duty, sir. Ready to glaze.
Glaze on Soldier. And thank you to everyone watching us live and participating in the chat. Just as a reminder, we are live each and every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on youtube.com/at Podcast PXN and twitch.tv/Podcast PXN as well. Although we will have information on that at the end of the show. The topic of the show will be at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. We have much to discuss there. We're kind of harping back to the roots of PXN. We're going to start with the PXN news of the week, Gage. Our first item of the PXN news of the week, future Arc Raiders content is coming. There's been a little bit of a leak that has come out here. A huge Arc Raiders leak just dropped on Pastebin that reveals upcoming new maps, features, a clan system, and much more. There's a new map called Frozen Trail that is on the way. It will include points of interest such as Central Station, Factory, Loading Platform, Observatory, Rail Yard, and Village. There are 5 new map conditions, reportedly, with Toxic Swamp, which is geothermal fissures that have erupted beneath the swamp, releasing both toxic gases and rare natural resources. Acid Rain event, an especially sour rain corroding anything on the surface, harming any raider caught outdoors. A heat wave event, a scorching sun has been beating down on everything and everyone, making it exhausting just to get around. Stay in the shadows if you can. The Queens event, plural. Multiple queens have been spotted in the area, though no harvester seems to be anywhere nearby. And lastly here, a new minor map condition where extraction points would be buttoned up tight and needing repair before they could be successfully used. There's also a new trading mechanic at the Shady Speranza Piazza. You will be able to trade with other raiders. 2 new weapons reportedly on the way called the Stanza and the Malleus. A new operation called Dead Reckoning, which will feature a massive arc that will be large enough to fly around the map and be boarded by raiders. It will probably be related to the cryptic UFOs seen flying during hurricanes. And lastly, a clan system where players will most likely be able to choose clans based on playstyles such as PvP or PvE. Now, all of this was taken based on leaks/data mining, so take it with a grain of salt, but sounds like a lot of interesting stuff that may be on the way.
And thank God, because we certainly need it. And I mean, the next thing I was going to say will kind of lead into what we're going to talk about, so I'll just pause there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which the next part of this future Arc Raiders content is Embark announced that they are changing how often content hits and the size of the content updates. They said, we're changing how we update the game. When Arc Raiders launched, we planned to offer monthly content updates. The intention was to keep you all engaged, to ensure the game always felt fresh, and to give you reasons to keep braving topside. But once the game was in players' hands, we saw that kind of long-term experience we want to create for Arc Raiders requires more transformative updates. Over time, we found that the pressure of a monthly cycle limits how impactful these updates can be. You feel it, and we feel it too. Running at that pace isn't sustainable or compatible with the bigger ambitions we have for this game. Major updates will now come twice a year. Going forward, we've made the decision to release major updates twice a year, larger in scale, more impactful, with the goal to genuinely change how you play the game. Don't worry, a dedicated live service team will continue running Arc Raiders day by day. Regular live updates plus balance fixes, bug fixes, store updates, and player events aren't going anywhere. This additional development space allows us to invest more deeply in the health of Arc Raiders, from progression and economy balancing to fair play and anti-cheat efforts. We know that these are foundational to the experience, especially in a game where every encounter and extraction matters. And then they talk about their next update, which is Frozen Trail. The next major update lands in October, and it's the largest update they've released since launch. It comes with a brand new frontier, explore a new landscape in the Rust Belt with layered design and new mysteries to uncover in the largest map in the game. Our most ambitious Arc operation so far, including new Arc enemies with fresh designs and unique behaviors that will challenge raiders in new ways. New systems of progression, which many players have maxed out their Raider Den and hit the skill point ceiling. Frozen Trail will introduce new goals and more ways to shape your Raider's progression. Exploring the origin of the Arc, what are Arc and where do they come from? Frozen Trail gives Raiders the opportunity to begin uncovering that mystery. Comes with a new improved skill tree alongside new weapons, items, instruments, cosmetics, and more. And then starting next week, they announced that a new trader would be on the way. Next week, they're introducing a fresh mechanic designed for late game players, a new trader from a nomadic tribe of surface dwellers. So essentially, this new trader will unlock at level 25, and he offers unique rewards, rare items, and cosmetics in exchange for your high-value items. He will take items off your hands in return for these weekly rotating rewards, but he may sometimes ask you to go and find specific rare items to trade. This new trader also offers 2 perks in exchange for high-value items. The first one is extra stash space to help you increase your capacity, and the other is the Expedition Vault. This allows you to carry up to 5 items across the expedition, so you can set up your new raider with your favorite items or blueprints. And I think that's basically it.
I like a lot of that. I really like a lot of that. I like the locker system. I think you and I were spitballing like maybe months ago or weeks ago, and I think we said the exact same thing where it's like, just give us 5 tiles and you can put whatever you want in there, and they were doing listening. Exactly that, which is sick. The Frozen Trail map being described as the biggest one yet is exciting because there's like Spaceport and Bluegate already feel massive. And so if this is going to be definitively bigger than those two, that's exciting. I really like Embark does some fantastic map design, which is probably like the main reason I'm able to play this game for as long as I have, is that I love these environments. Twice a year cadence, I think makes sense, and I'm hoping that means we're going to get a much better balance for how the game works, because it kind of feels, and we've talked about this a lot on the podcast, where it feels like they're putting out a fire and 2 more like spawn behind them because they're just kind of running around with their heads cut off. Again, they're making the famous mistake that like Destiny and Halo Infinite made, which is like you launch your game and you make big bold statements about this is exactly how things are going to work from here on out. And it's like, it's funny because like a lot of these studios are made up of like really sort of experienced devs, and you'd think at a certain point studios would stop sort of trying to do this and make these definitive statements, because we all know that like shit happens, stuff pops up, you got to deal with it. And either way, this is just me rambling and getting around to the fact that like this is probably the cadence that they should have like announced at the get-go. This is a much more reasonable sort of, this is going to give the team time to like actually work things out and like stress test their new features before they just throw them out there, and then like the next week, whatever was planned now becomes just fixing the things that you just launched. I like this. I think that we're going to see a lot of people negative online about this, saying like, oh, we're going to get less stuff. But like, we weren't like, a lot of these updates weren't that big anyway. So if they're just going to take a lot of this small weekly stuff and just sort of package it up and give us a huge drop, I think that this might actually feel better to the player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that this is going to help Embark create stuff without being like overburdened with all the work. Like as you said, like they've ran into an issue where like they put out some new stuff that's cool and then like break 3 other things, and it's like they don't have time to like workshop that or fix those issues super quickly. So then it gets a little frustrating for some players. So this should alleviate that, I would think, with going to like a 6-month model. However, I am a little concerned because in terms of like player count, because like you said, there's going to be people that are going to be complaining that it's going to be 6 or, well, I guess now 5 months until the next content update. And we live in such a like instant gratification society at this point. Like everyone wants to be fucking Fortnite, where let's release 6 things this week and then next week we'll release 6 more things, and it's like that's just not feasible for most games. Like it's just not. It's not sustainable. And I think we talked about this when Arc Raiders came out. Like they could have gone the approach of like hiring a shitload of developers and like, you know, speeding that process up. But then at that point, are you sacrificing the quality and, you know, sacrificing the vision of what the game is in order to just get content out to satisfy people quickly? So yeah, it is an interesting balance. Like they've got to kind of walk, but I think they at least have a healthy player base. Like it has dropped significantly since launch, but like they still have, in my opinion, a healthy base. Like I don't see people just up and abandoning the game in the short term. Now, as the months go on and we get further and further away from now, and you know, October's a long way away, I think they may see some dwindling numbers, but hopefully if the update is as big as it seems it's going to be, it will bring a bunch of players back in October as well.
Yeah. I mean, you have to hope that they've got this mapped out and planned out, but you know, I definitely understand if people have some pause and reservation. But again, I would like to believe that a lot of the reasons that Embark has been fumbling is because they've backed themselves into this corner. So it's like I'm kind of hopeful that after this change, don't worry guys, it will get better. But I obviously can't guarantee that, and I don't blame anybody for being skeptical. But I have a sinking suspicion that those two things are linked, and that hopefully this change means that it's not just that we're getting the same amount of content we used to at a different cadence. I think that hopefully that content will improve because of giving themselves time to work on it.
For sure. Yeah. Agreed. All right. Let's go into our second news of the week item, Gage, which is the Xbox overhaul continues. A bunch more Xbox news of things that Asha is changing up and reworking, as well as some speculation and rumors coming out for stuff that may be coming in the future. First up here, Asha has decided to continue her overhaul with a brand new executive team. We've got 5 new people here: Jared Palmer, Tim Allen, not the actor Tim Allen, Jonathan McKay, and Evan Shockey. All of these people are former Core AI people that she formerly worked with. So again, more AI people being brought in. I don't know what that looks like, if that's good, bad, indifferent. I don't know. Maybe she's just hiring these people because she's very familiar with them. I don't know.
Right.
But we'll see if this new team in the executive suite makes any difference going forward. And then Also, on the back of that, Asha put out a tweet that says, Xbox needs to move faster, deepen our connection with the community, and address friction for both players and developers. Today, we promoted leaders who helped build Xbox while also bringing in new voices to help push us forward. This balance is important as we get the business back on track. As part of this shift, you'll see us begin to retire features that don't align with where we're headed. We will begin winding down Copilot on mobile, and we'll stop development of Copilot on console. Interesting.
It's I would say it's fucking huge, actually, and is maybe the most surprising thing to come from this shakeup. We must have talked about it off air because I could have sworn that we've already talked about this, but like this is a small gesture that is kind of huge. I mean, when you think of all the theories that we've suggested about Satya Nadella and there's been rumors about, Halo and using AI and mandates and all these things. This is a huge signal in the opposite direction. I did see, I'm only bringing this up because I noticed that you don't have it written in here. I did see rumors that apparently Microsoft had like a big payout on an investment that they did recently, and that maybe that is a reason as to why Xbox has been given a bit more of a leash in terms of like easing its mandates from the Xbox division in terms of what money they want from it, and quite possibly what technologies they're going to mandate them use. Like, who knows if there ever was an AI mandate for Xbox as a company to use that utility,
right?
It could maybe the fact that mandate existed at all was a cost cutting measure, and then now because they've made that money up in other areas, they're relaxing that sort of mandate. Who knows? I don't know. Either way, this is fantastic because I think a lot of people that actually know a lot about AI probably could have told you that Xbox the console does not need an AI. Whatever R&D you're putting into having a console interface AI is not worth it at all. It does not improve it's just not worth it. And for them to actually step away from that is kind of incredible. I did not expect it at all, and it is probably the single most sort of substantial thing that she's done that has made me go, oh, okay. This does show that you're focused and that you are trimming the fat in a way that I did not expect. So this is huge, I think.
For sure. Yeah. It's very surprising coming from the person that came from AI within Microsoft. All right. We've got a few tweaks to some of the Xbox UI and dashboard interface. We've got improvements to gamer picks and achievement art resolution, which Microsoft has pushed out. They've increased the sharpness of gamer picks and certain game or achievement art on Series X consoles set to 4K output. So a little higher resolution. We also got a look at the new boot up animation and sound for Xbox as well, which has gone live officially today. So turn on your Xbox and you'll get that new animation. And then we got some news that Asha is treading very carefully on what to do with exclusive games right now. Of course, what does this mean? Who the fuck knows? But Tom Warren is reporting that Sharma says that she has been evaluating a range of options for Xbox exclusive games, but is treading carefully and isn't yet ready to commit to any major changes. Be very interesting to see what happens, and we may get our first look at what her decision is here in just about a month when we see whether or not Gears of War E-Day comes to PlayStation. I would say that would be a good indicator.
Regardless of how we feel about Phil Spencer's decision to open up exclusivity, which I think, to recap, you and I are both pretty more games should come to more platforms. That's generally a good idea.
Right.
with that being said, I don't envy her position of being brought in to shake things up and to relook at every strategy, and then now have to sort of gamble with this. Like, she is in a really tough spot in terms of, like, if you go one way, you're gonna lose a lot. Like, she is trying really hard to garner goodwill with the Xbox fan base, and I think if you commit to the open sort of non-exclusive strategy, you're going to get a lot of online backlash, which may or may not actually amount to any sort of real world consequence, but is not going to look good. Or you revert and you try to double down on, no, you know what? Xbox is a console. We are going to fight like how PlayStation fights. We are going to have our exclusivity and our reasons to be in our to be in our ecosystem. Well, now you're like just subtracting so much money from the books, which, you know, is already committed to. You're already going to get money from PlayStation. You're already going to get money from Steam, and now you're just losing that by retracting that. So I do not envy that she is very much in between a rock and a hard place right now. Do you like what do you think? What do you think is the path forward?
It's tough because I think that they have to. If their strategy now with Asha is to sell Xbox consoles, especially next gen consoles that may be coming next year, maybe the year after, I think that they have to have some kind of value proposition for that. So if you don't have some kind of exclusive there, then there's not really a whole lot of value proposition, because people can just play on PC or PlayStation. So I really think it just depends on what their strategy as a whole is. And it seems like, based on things she said, she wants to bring that hardware success back again. So if that is the case, I think you have to have some exclusives in order to sell that console. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. But like we were just saying, I think Gears of War E-Day is going to be like the measuring stick of what's going to happen under Asha's tenure here.
I can see it going two ways. I could see them going the way that I think might have been telegraphed by the recent Game Pass change, which is that let's artificially divide which franchises are Xbox franchises based just purely on optics, right? So like an example of that was, we're going to lower the price of Game Pass and we're going to make it so that you don't get Call of Duty day one. Call of Duty technically now is an Xbox franchise, but I think the reason that they drew the line there is because they know that many people don't associate it yet with Xbox. So could they do that with, say, you know, Bethesda games will be multi-platform, Gears of War will not, Halo will not, Forza will not. Things that are associated with Xbox in the zeitgeist will remain Xbox exclusives, and the things that typically aren't considered Xbox, even though they technically are, go third party. Or, Dan, or here's something that I think is crazy. This is pie in the sky. I have no evidence to suggest that this is what they'll do. But could they also do something kind of like what some streaming services do with, like, you know, it's come out now that some streaming services, like, if you want to be a weekly release, that your show has to earn that through viewership. It would be interesting if they took something where it's like, if we believe that this franchise is strong enough on its own 2 feet, then it can stay exclusive. And what I'm getting at is, like, say, does Halo remain multi-platform because it's in a bad way right now? You know what I mean? Like, do they look at it on a franchise by franchise basis and say, like, okay, if we want these franchises to stay with the current funding that they get, you guys have to make up that somewhere, and therefore certain franchises, almost irregardless of how they're perceived, whether or not they're Xbox exclusives or not, they'll go a case by case basis.
I think
I only bring that up because I don't know that Halo goes back to being Xbox exclusive. I just don't know that it does.
I don't think it does, because the issue is they've already announced that Campaign Evolved is coming to PlayStation 5.
Right.
And Brian Gerard actually said live on their stream that all future Halo games would be on PlayStation. So it's like to go back on that would be difficult without kind of a PR nightmare. And my other thing is like Forza, for instance. Forza is a really good example of something that is traditionally very much an Xbox franchise, but Forza Horizon 5 was brought to PlayStation. Forza Horizon 6 has been announced for PlayStation. It's coming later than the Xbox version. So it'd be hard to remove that as a multi-platform game at this point. And also, I would argue it would be a bad move to remove that as a multi-platform game because PlayStation doesn't really have a alternative to Forza Horizon. So like that fills a great spot for those people, and I'm sure they sell pretty well on there. So yeah, maybe they also do like a little bit of what you were saying, like they take a look at each franchise and say, is there some Sony competitor that Sony has that's a competitor to this franchise? And if there is, then we'll keep this exclusive to compete with that. If there's not, then it makes a lot of sense to put that franchise on their platform in order to sell more copies.
In which case I don't think there's any sort of other than just guessing, right? There's not going to be any sort of structure to this to just know what's what. Like I could see, going by that logic, I could see Fable remaining exclusive and that being a big sort of like, here's our first third person sort of epic single player
for sure
offering, and you have to get our box to get it. And I do wonder if they don't. And you know what? Harkening back to what we were talking with Embark, I almost wish Asha doesn't come out and say, here's a rigid rule structure based on how we're going to deal with exclusives going forward. I almost, like, obviously, for the consumer, you want there to be some announcement, but I hope it doesn't go farther than sort of just, like, studio leads, like you said, like with like the Halo leads, one of the Halo dev members on stream, kind of like on a case-by-case basis, just saying, like, yeah, we're on PlayStation for the foreseeable future. Because then it's like, again, with something like Bethesda, when the next Elder Scrolls comes around, do you want to pre-commit to that being on every platform when you'd rather hang on to it for like a crazy exclusive sort of like push? Now, the consumer in me doesn't really want that. Like, I want people on PlayStation who have been playing Elder Scrolls for, decades to still get that. But I'm just thinking, if I were them, if they've got their eye on the prize and they don't really care about playing fair, they want to just get back to being somewhat equal with PlayStation, I wonder if it's better to not just come out and have some sort of rigid structure to this and just kind of keep your cards close to your chest and say, yeah, well, we'll see. We'll kind of see what we do.
Yeah, I also realized that Fable's already been announced for PlayStation 5 also. It has a store.
Oh, has it?
Yeah, it has a store link for it on PS5.
That's also interesting, dude, because a lot of the Xbox games that have a lot of hype right now have already, with the exception of Gears of War E-Day, already have commitments to PlayStation. So
yeah, it's tricky.
I guess that's a good point, right? Like this is gonna be for games that are far, far in the future.
Yeah. All right. Last up here, Xbox may be working on a disc-to-digital program. This is coming from Jez Borden on Twitter. Positiontron, this is from Positiontron, I guess. Xbox may be working on a disc-to-digital program for gamers in the ecosystem, enabling digital entitlements like Xbox Cloud Gaming and Xbox Play Anywhere. Given that now even PlayStation is 85% digital, the likelihood that next gen goes all digital is pretty high. Also, Microsoft has a new Xbox Game Pass tier set in the works specifically for China.
The end of physical media. I really didn't, being born in the 90s, I really didn't think it was going to happen, but we're here.
I'm actually excited for this. If it means I can convert all my Xbox 360 disc games to digital, I'll fucking do the second. As long as I can keep the disc too.
I mean, that would be sick if they have a little disc attachment for the next one, and all its purpose is to just sort of read the data on your disc and then convert that to a permanent. But there's this is the thing. I know there's gonna be some DRM bullshit. There's gonna it's not gonna. I mean, as much as I'd like to think that Asha is on a roll here, there's gonna be some catch where you're
yeah.
The disc we've burnt a ring into the disc now by doing this. So now your disc doesn't work, and also we retain license over your digital. There's gonna be some bullshittery.
Mm-hmm.
There's gonna be some bullshittery.
Yeah,
it does sound cool in concept.
For sure. JPage 5303 in the chat says, "Hi guys, I'm serious. How have you been?" We've been well.
You're serious about asking us, or you're serious, how have we been? In which case, we've been good.
You've made it to the penultimate episode. We'll have more on that in just a few. All right, down to the quick bites here. Nintendo has revealed a new Star Fox 64 remake for Nintendo Switch 2 Gauge. I don't know why, but these character models are not doing it for me at all. It gives me fucking Gen AI feels. Literally, it feels like Gen AI models.
Yeah, it doesn't look great.
Yeah.
And I'm not really a fan of the franchise, so I don't have a dog in the fight, really.
I love Star Fox, but what the hell did we do to him? This fucking model looks terrible. And you just had the Mario movie that, in my opinion, his model was really nicely designed, and then you fucking use this for this game? What are we doing, Nintendo?
We're doing Nintendo things is what we're doing.
Oh, okay. JPage from Xbox Live, my screen name is Serious Gamertag. Ah, yes, Serious. Okay. You had me confused there with your sentence. It felt like it was just one sentence, but okay. Yeah, how's it going, man? Okay. Second quick bite, Gage. Sony has recorded a $765 million impairment cost against Bungie. Oh, I guess they're not doing as well as Sony had hoped. Sony revealed this on May 8th. The $3.6 billion Bungie deal hasn't worked out well for Sony, especially as it was supposed to bolster what has become a disastrous live service push for PlayStation. Hopefully that doesn't mean bad stuff for Marathon, because I think Marathon's a lot of fun, and I hope they keep tweaking and updating that game. But yeah, that's where we're at.
Yeah, but I mean, it sucks because obviously the blame lies with just a few top dogs at Bungie. But I just love how they just keep getting themselves into these. They love living life on the edge of being shut down, it seems, because as soon as they gain their freedom, they immediately hop into bed with another giant monster and leave their necks protruding for chopping.
Incredible. There is a big GTA Online update on the way, Gage. Rockstar Games has teased that an exciting new GTA Online update will be released this summer, sparking speculation about what it could involve, given GTA 6 is set to launch in November. What could that mean? What could that mean? Some kind of tie-in, possibly?
Could be.
We'll see. Did you see the PXN voice channel Christian left a message that says, I ... was here.
I did not see that. He was, in fact, here.
Yes. I'm sorry, Christian. I forgot to tell you about today's episode. But such is life, my shitstorm of a week. I completely forgot to let you know. I apologize, sir. Siri said, chillin', just catching the pod today. Keep up the great work. Well, we may have some bad news for you later in the show, then. We're getting close to it, so stick around. All right, the Fantasy Critic check-in, Gage. Let's jump into our Fantasy Critic check-in. I have some very bad news, and that is my experiment of picking up TMNT Empire City for the VR slot because I didn't want to get negative 20 points. Well, I got negative 8 points because it said a 62 on Open Critic.
Huge. Absolutely huge.
See, you say huge, but then, like, my next question is, what game are you going to pick up for VR? Because there's not a whole lot of options.
Unless the Steam frame launches with something that we don't know yet. Half-Life Alyx DLC surprise dropped with Steam frame. Half-Life 3 surprise dropped with the Steam box. Done. Steam machine, whatever it's called.
All right. Well, good luck to you.
That's what we're pulling for right now. That's what we're hoping for.
Oh, jeez. Oh, Christian saying, that's not my message. That's the Discord letting you know ISO Christian was here. I didn't know that Discord did that. Oh. Never mind.
They started doing that recently, yeah.
Oh. Never mind then. Okay. So we also have an update for Mixtape, which came out, which is, of course, Christian Macias's game. Magpie 512 is his publisher, and Mixtape is sitting at an 87 on OpenCritic, giving Christian 17 points. He has 3 games, and they all have double digits. Christian's on a roll. And a quick check-in here, points-wise. That means Dan is now in last place with 18 points and 3 games released. That negative 8 definitely hurt me. Then we have Christian in third place with 45 points with 3 games released. And then we've got Gage in second place with 67 points with 5 games released. And Rowe currently sits in first with 70 points with 7 games released. Our upcoming releases, Forza Horizon 6 is coming May 19th for Gage's team. Yoshi and the Mysterious Book is coming May 21st for my team. Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight is coming May 22nd for Gage's team. 007 First Light is coming May 27th for Gage's team. Mina the Hollower is coming May 29th for Christian's team. And that is all of our May, which that may be our last update for a while as we go into our topic of the show now, Gage, which is, if you couldn't tell by the episode title name, this is the penultimate episode of Podcast PXN. After much deliberation and discussion, Ubisoft has informed us that they are closing Podcast PXN.
Fucking Ubisoft. From Yves Guillemot.
Yeah.
That French fuck. You know who got the call? Actually, Yves Guillemot contacted Guy, who then contacted us to say, you're done.
You're done.
It's over.
No more. Oh my gosh. Christian in the chat. Christian saying deliberation and discussion with whom? Well, deliberation and discussion with the
all
current
the regular
members of Podcast PXN.
Get his ass.
Because you laughed.
Get his ass.
Oh my god. I definitely wanted to inform you that this was happening, but you did leave us.
It's true.
Just saying.
It's true.
Just saying. Not that he wanted to. He was going to school. He's trying to get his shit together for a new job, and so.
Which I think kind of leads to the theme of the episode, which is that we've all got stuff going on, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ubisoft is not shutting us down. We are shutting us down. So, yes, Podcast PXN is ending after 7 long years of doing this podcast every single Wednesday, minus a couple. And it's a little bittersweet to think about. Like, I moved into my house, and one of my requirements for Sean to rent from me was for him to do this podcast with me, because I wanted to do a podcast for a long time, so I kind of conned him into that, as he needed a place to stay as well. So we did that for a while, and then of course Ro graciously joined us when COVID kind of happened, and we went all virtual. And that was awesome. Obviously, I met Ro the prior year through another podcast called Media Interactive Podcast X, Y, and Z, and became friends with Ro. And yes, Ro joined and was super gracious to do that, and hosted for a long time with me. And it was mainly me and him for a while, because Sean was kind of in and out. Never knew when Sean was going to be there. And then my mom's retirement party happened, and I was like, "Hey, Ro, like, do you want to do an episode with somebody else? Do you have somebody else that you could do it with?" And that's when he found Christian to join him for that episode. And I was actually watching them in the car on my way home from my mom's retirement party, and I was like, "This is pretty cool, and he knows his shit." So then I asked Christian if he wanted to join, and I think originally he said he'd think about it or something like that, and then he ended up coming back to me a little while later and said, "Yeah, I want to do it." And so that was fun. So it was the 4 of us for a while. Well, really the 3 of us, because Sean was always gone, like I said. But that was awesome as well, having Christian there and joining us. And then finally, when I realized that Sean wasn't coming back, I was like, all right, we had Gage on episode 100 as a guest because he had appeared in I think you appeared in a previous episode to that. And then I was like, let's bring everyone who has ever been on the show back for this episode 100. And then I was like, hey, Gage, do you want to join us as the 4th chair? And that'd be cool. Kind of have that 4th chair, have a little bit more back and forth, that kind of stuff. Thought it would be fun. So we did that. And Gage, obviously, I'm very gracious that you joined us. And like, I think besides the point of Podcast PXN and taking down the memories from Podcast PXN, I think for me, the most important thing from Podcast PXN, it has been getting to know you guys as well as I do now, and becoming such good friends with you all. And honestly, I don't know where I would be without you guys. Like, you guys were there for me when I needed you guys the most, and you've been with me every step of the way. And I say this all the time, but like, some of my best friends that I've ever had in my life, I fucking just get into the biggest arguments with, and I just get really like get under their skin. They know how to get under my skin, and like the same shit has happened with us. Like, obviously, Gage, you know that we've had our fair share of back and forth. Christian and I have had our fair share of back and forth, but to me, like that's a sign of like people caring and like having like emotional reactions to one another, and like at the end of the day we always come back and we're like, okay, let's recenter ourselves. Like this is our friendship is what's important, not whatever it is that's putting at us at odds. And like that's been my happiest moment of being on this podcast is meeting all of you guys, and you guys being my closest friends that I really have. So yeah, I appreciate you guys and everything you guys have done for me.
I mean, I have to say that, like, yeah, getting invited to this podcast, regardless of this podcast ceasing to exist, just the mere inclusion, has kind of changed the trajectory of my life. We've gone down to visit you. You've come out to visit us. It's not just me and Ro that you're friends with now. You've now made connections to other people, Christian, Ro, and myself. We've met your family. This podcast has kind of like really been a jumping off point for all of us. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I wouldn't, for all the bickering and fighting and arguments that we've had, I wouldn't change it for anything. It's been such a net positive experience for my life, being on this podcast. So I will always be grateful to you for listening to Ro being like, yeah, I've got an idea. I can bring on this fucking idiot and we can talk about Halo and bicker about which is the best Halo. And the fact that you took that chance and here we are, 4 or 5 years later, insane. Absolutely insane.
Yeah. It is insane. I still remember I think the first time we chatted was on your podcast, because you had me on for a special episode to talk about Halo exclusively, because Ro was like, yeah, this dude loves Halo as much as you do. You should jump on with him. I was like, oh, okay. And then I recorded that episode with you.
You're right. That is what, yes. Yeah.
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 So that was fun. Or fun. So yeah, like you said before, why this decision was made, like we've got a lot of stuff going on in our lives, it's people don't realize how much work it is, like behind the scenes, to like have this show ready every week, have it posted, have it posted on socials, have it edited, have it uploaded, have it, like there's so many components, have thumbnails, every little piece of it, like there's work there. And for me specifically, it got to the point where it felt like I was just doing work, and like I loved coming on the show every week to talk with you guys. Like there's no doubt about, and I love interacting with everybody in the comments, but it got to the point where I was just like, I just don't want to do the work on it anymore. And it just felt like more work than anything to get to this point of like the good part. Like this is the good part right here. But
right.
So yeah, I think that was kind of where we landed on that. But I do have a secret message from Ro as well that he left me as well, and he told me about. So I will read that right here. Christian, if you're still in the chat, feel free to come back if you want to say something. But there will still be more time for that on the last episode, which we'll talk about here in a second. Rose says, Podcast PXN is the best. I'm so glad Dan asked me to join all those years ago. Having a place to talk with my friends about what we all love is something I looked forward to each week, especially during the earlier times. My loneliness was at an all-time high. And having Dan to speak to every week was a highlight. Eventually bringing on Christian and Gage, it is truly a great time. I want to specifically shout out Dan, though, for starting this in the first place. Dan is truly one of the most genuine and nicest people I've ever met. Legit starting to cry writing this. You're about to make me fucking start crying, you fucking bastard. He deserves the best. When Dan's happy, I'm happy. Thank you, Christian, Gage, and Dan, for being my friends. Looking forward to the final episode with the blue heart emoji. Thank you, Ro. That's incredibly gracious, and half of it is not true. Specifically about me.
No lies detected, actually, at all.
God.
I've never heard a truer statement read in my entire life.
I was trying to not cry, and then it fucking... Thank you, Ro. Thank you, and thank you, Gage. Yeah, like I said, I kept it together before, but like legitimately, I do not know where I would be without you guys. And the fact that you guys went on this journey with me is just it means a shitload. And obviously thank you a millionfold to Christian as well. He's not in here. I completely blanked on telling him about this episode, and I've had a lot going on this week, so I apologize for missing that to him. But Christian also very instrumental for almost the entire run of the podcast. Yeah. Thank you to all of you guys. And obviously, thank you to everyone in the chat that has joined us every single week, like, and hung out with us. You know, Rose grandma, Rose dad,
Rose's entire family.
Yeah.
Majority of our viewership base.
Yeah.
And shout out to the quiet supporters too, like, you know, Sheldon and Ryan, who listen every now and again and aren't there to make it live, but wait for us to wait to listen to us while they're at work. Sheldon's gonna be devastated hearing this.
I know.
He has no idea.
He doesn't know. Oh no.
No, he's got no idea.
Yeah, Kirik, Glenn, everyone who joins us every week and interacts with us, that shit's part of the best part of this podcast as well. Which, just to read a few of what they're saying here, Kirik said, "Really? No! 7 years. Wow. I know how much work it is. That's why I respect it," with a heart emoji. You're going to make me cry. The show will be dearly missed. I can't believe it. If it is time, then it is the right thing to do. The show is awesome. Thank you so much, Kirik. You have been one of the legend supporters, supporting us every single week. And like, yes, we love you, and we absolutely loved seeing you in the chat every single week and throwing your input in and your 2 cents. Like, that was really awesome. Thank you for being here with us. Christian said, "I'm behind by 2 minutes, but thanks for letting me host Jeopardy that one time." All right, Christian. Oh my God. I screwed up, Christian. I apologize. But thank you, Christian. Seriously, if you missed everything what I said before, thank you. Eternally grateful for you as well, and everybody, for everybody hosting, everybody sharing, everybody being here with me, and continuing to make this place just so much better to be in. And I don't mean like this chat room that we're in, but like this world that we're in. Just makes this world a better place to be able to enjoy this time with you guys, and a little chapter in all of our stories. But the good part is like, after this podcast is over, we are still all going to be friends, and we're still going to be playing together and enjoying and laughing and giggling and all of the stuff moving forward. It's just we're not going to be doing it in public anymore, or
right,
on YouTube and Twitch.
Right.
But yeah, Kirk said, wait, hold on. Is it Christian that is making you do this? If you like, I could send my Uncle Jimmy to pay him a visit. My uncle can be very persuasive.
Hell
No.
yeah, Kirik.
No, it's not Christian. I forgot to. I was talking to Gage, but I thought that for some reason I was also talking to Christian about the end of the podcast, and we were talking about this the last few days. And I guess I forgot to loop Christian in. I had texted Ro on the side and told him and explained everything, and he sent that very nice message as well because he couldn't be here today. But with all that being said, we will have, since this is the penultimate episode, we will have one more episode that will be coming in September, which I know that sounds stupid and so far away, but because of everything happening, Ro is going to have surgery here soon, and it's going to be a multiple month recovery. So we're hoping to schedule something for September to do the final episode to kind of say our final goodbyes for the podcast and put everything to bed. But yeah, we're going to be thinking about Ro for his surgery and hope everything goes well for that. And yeah, it's yeah. And also, I gave him shit through the first part of this segment, but thank you to Sean for actually starting this with me, because without me doing that, none of this would have happened. Like, honestly, at this point, I have no idea where I would be right now if I hadn't required that in my fucking lease agreement with Sean, because like so much of my entire life up to this point has spiraled from that moment. So it's like, it's crazy to think about like that moment having such a huge impact on my life, especially with stuff that's happening to me right now in my life. Right. And shout out to Chase. Thank you, Chase.
Shout out to Chase. The real ones know.
The real ones know. Christian said, I commented that before things started getting sentimental. Oh, I was mortified for my comment after the podcast took a turn. It's okay, Christian. It's okay. All right. So yeah, that's it. Gage, do you have any other comments before we close out the show?
What's this? How do you sign off on 4 years of friendship and heated debate and good times and laughter, and I don't know what to say other than thank you to everyone who for some reason decided to put us up on your screen for 2 hours every week. Like Dan said, Kirik, shout out to Kirik. Shout out to Brenty. Shout out to Rose Grandma. Shout out to Sheldon. Shout out to Ryan. Shout out to Glenn.
Yes.
Big shout out to Glenn and Kirik, who were like easily our number one, always in there, ride or die. Glenn and Kirik, you guys are fantastic. And I just guess the last thing I have to say is that Halo 2 is the best Halo.
Okay.
Definitively. And it's been real.
Yeah. Fucking the fuck out of here. Halo 2. Yes, thank you, Gage. Your very kind words to all of our guests and viewers. Kirk says your Discord will still be open for comments. Yes, absolutely. I'm gonna leave the Discord. I might rename.
You're gonna leave the Discord because Kirk. Here's the thing. The next time Dan comes up to Canada, which may or may not be somewhat soon, we are absolutely going to get together. We are going to go to Toronto, see you. We're going to have some of that delicious barbecue that you promised us.
That's true. That's true. We got to get some of that BBQ. Okay. That I guess that does it for our penultimate episode. It doesn't feel quite real just yet. But Thank you again to everyone joining us live on YouTube and Twitch, as well as podcast services everywhere, including Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, Spotify, and everywhere else you get your podcasts. Thank you, Ro. Thank you, Gage. Thank you, Christian. I love you, Chase. I am Daniel, and this has been Podcast PXN, and we are out. Much love, and keep on gaming.
This is Gage signing off. Halo 2 is the GOAT.
Halo 3 is the best game of all time.
Halo 2 is the best Halo of all time. Goodbye.
Halo 3. Halo 3 is definitively the best. Goodbye or goodbye.
Halo 2 is the best. Halo 2 is the best Halo.
Oh, god damn it. Now Christian's gonna say something. What's he gonna say?
No, I'll just join and say hello.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say Halo 2 is the best also.
It is.
Kirik, sweet cum. Let me know when and I'll have a cow killed for you. Holy shit, a whole cow? And he said, thanks guys. Looking forward to and not looking forward to September. Absolutely. Keep an eye on our socials, and we will have more info on the exact date as we get closer. But yeah, September is what we're shooting for. So we shall see you then. Thank you again, Kirik. Thank you, everybody.